Welcome back. Well, the U.S. went ahead today to move its embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, sparking all sorts of reactions across the world. Let's put all this into perspective now, and I'm now being joined on the news at 10 by a senior research fellow at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Dr. Segun Bolaniwa. Thanks a lot for joining us on the news at 10.
Thank you.
I mean, it's a highly controversial moment, however you look at it. Do you have praise for Trump or condemnation, like most of the Arab world? Let's start from there.
Well, from a professional perspective, I have no reason to condemn either parties or any of the parties to the conflict, but all I know is that the recognition of, or the movement of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem is historic. It's historic because this period marks the 70th year since the State of Israel was created. And I want to believe that the movement of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem is actually planned to coincide with this period. And owing to the fact that by tomorrow the Palestinians will be celebrating or will be mourning, like in form of mourning.
It's mourning. They call it Nakba, so
yes,
they're mourning
Nakba.
the fact that Israel was created.
Israel was created, and most of them were made to become refugees, what they claim to be their own land.
So is it historic for the Palestinians then? Because I know you're saying it's a historic moment, but there's so much mixed into it. There's the historic part of it, there's the politics of it. How, I don't know, is the timing the best? I think that's the way I want to put it.
Yes, timing is actually the controversial thing out of it. But while we are also discussing the timing, it is also deliberate. The timing is also deliberate. Like I said earlier, this is the 70th anniversary of the creation of the State of Israel. At the same time, the Palestinians are also very angry. They are mourning that actually even the State of Israel was created. And so the creation alone is not a good thing to the Palestinians. But to the people of Israel or to the State of Israel, they see it as historic. They also see it as actualization of one of the longest of their dreams, to have a home to themselves. Not only that, but also to have Jerusalem to their side. If you look at history...
Yes, I know you're talking about looking at history, but let us look at the present. We have over 50 people who have died on the Gaza border just today alone. Just looking at the hostilities and the way it's going to go, quickly now, is this going to be the beginning of yet another round of trouble in that Middle East region, seeing as that peace process has never actually been successful?
Of course, many people at different quarters have expressed their opinions that the timing of the movement of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem will simply escalate conflicts in that place, owing to the fact that the peace process or processes are still ongoing and they have not really achieved what they are meant to achieve. So with this now, with the movement of the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem now, will simply escalate the conflict in that region. And basically, it will not only escalate, it will also increase the number of deaths. Look at it, only today, right from beginning in the morning when they started, close to 50 people have died and close to 1,000 are already injured. And continuously, there will be the tension will increase now. Number of killings and deaths will also increase. So what that has only created on the other side is that it has escalated the tension in that place. But to the other side, to the State of Israel, to them it's historic. Not only historic, it's also an actualization of their dream to have Jerusalem to themselves.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Senior Research Fellow at the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Dr. Segun Bolaniwa. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on the news at 10 tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
From there, let's hop over to look at some sports. Here's Barrow to a new ranta.
Thank you, Joma, and welcome to Sports News. Super Eagles technical advisor Guerroro has named a 30-man provisional squad for the 2018 FIFA World Cup in Russia. Francis Uzoho, Ikechukwu Ezenwa, Delia Jiboyo, and Daniel Akpayi are the goalkeepers on the list. Leon Balogun, William Chust Ekong, Sheikh Abdullahi, Elusana Chiojele, and Kenneth Omeru are some of the defenders. In midfield, Captain Mikel Obi, Ogenyi Onazi, Wilfred Ndidi, Ogenikaro Etibo, Joe Lubi, John Ogu, and Mikel Agu make the list. In attack, Odion Gallo, Ahmed Musa, Victor Moses, Alex Iwobi, Ikelechi Henacho, Moses Simeon were all included. Kano Pillars hitman Junior Lakusa and Corton striker Simeon Wanko also received first-time call-ups. And finally, Peru will be without their biggest star at the 2018 World Cup after the Court of Arbitration for Sport, CAS, upheld an appeal by the Anti-World Anti-Doping Agency, extended Paulo Guerrero's 6-month ban by FIFA. Guerrero's ban has been extended by 6 months and will be lifted in January, meaning the 34-year-old flamenco man will miss the rest of the season, the World Cup, and the first half of next season. Last October, the player tested positive for benzoyl-conine, which is a metabolite of cocaine. The player and his representatives have claimed he was not taking any drugs and the banned substance was accidentally consumed through tea. Well, that's it on Sports News for tonight. I'm Barong, Tony Uranta, and Ijoma will be back with a wrap.
Thanks a lot, Barong. The police say the death toll following the Kenyan dam disaster has risen to 48 after the discovery of 3 more bodies. According to the regional police commissioner, the 3 people found over the weekend were possibly not even from the area. However, the 40 people who were still missing on Friday have been accounted for. In his words, Mr. Chiwanga says the search is ongoing and it is not only scaled down but called off. The dam, one of several of the sprawling farm near Solini, 120 miles from Kenya's capital Nairobi, burst on Wednesday night, sending a wall of water cascading from 10 kilometers, destroying everything in its path. And the main news again. The federal government today called for increased support for anti-corruption bodies across Africa as Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka recommended arrest of corrupt leaders to make anti-graft fight effective. Also today, security operatives took over Kano State House of Assembly complex as majority of the lawmakers moved to impeach the speaker over alleged incompetence and corruption. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. I'm Ijoma Honyato. Do have a good night.